Welcome back once again to the latest episode of Wall Hawk Insider with Coach Craig Slaughter, brought to you by Texas Bank and also sponsored by Oasis Crop Insurance. I'm Russ Howard, Concho Sports, and of course, he is Coach Craig Slaughter. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, episode 5, already 5 into the season. My goodness gracious. Not to include the preseason coaches special as well. So, with that said, another week, another non-district game, another tough 4A opponent. Your initial thoughts on the game?
Super proud of the kids. I mean, loved obviously the tough win. I was hoping it was going to be a little more relaxing, win. And again, I think the biggest person to blame for that. Defensively, we've given up 7 points in the first half, 54 in the second. And it's really, I don't know what the answer is because there's nothing really to fix at halftime. It's not like there's formations we're misplaying or something. It's just either just a little worse execution or I need to put us in better spots. A couple of times we might need to make another play or two there, but it's just normally, I'm just not used to, and I don't want to get used to it.
Right.
We're up 2 scores. That game ought to be over, and it's something we definitely talked about today, and we're stressing 48 minutes of what it should look like.
Right. So let's change it up a little bit. Normally we go offense, defense. Let's talk about defense because there's something you mentioned it. You mentioned part of it already. But the way this defense responded in that fourth quarter on Friday night, obviously shut them down in the first half. Third quarter, again, kind of a repeat. I blame myself, announcer's cheeks on that one, because I mentioned it on the air, and the minute I said, oh, dear God, here we go again. But in that fourth quarter, on that last Monahans drive, they really rose up on that fourth, I think it was 3, and threw that quarterback for a loss. What a gut check performance.
Oh, for sure. Again, on the sideline, you just know you have tough kids on the field, and you just know what the kids are about. And in those, I call it one of those winning moments. Somebody's going to make a play either for their team or our team. And it's just amazing how different kids, in Wall, Texas over the years will step up when they get their chance to perform. And that was it exactly. That was a 4th and long 2, short 3. And, obviously 20 yards away, that stop ends the game pretty much. And, props to them. We went short yardage and, I think it was Garrett Guy, Gavin Sisson, just some of those point of attack guys, just absolutely. The interior D-line gave them nothing either. It was a perfect team football play and ended up a great moment for us.
I went back and watched the replay several times on that 4th down stop, and I can't remember who it came off this near side, came around.
That was Sisson.
Was that Sisson came around?
It was Sisson or Barbie.
Right.
It
was Hagen Barbie.
Okay,
that's what
they both, just were running it down. And again, what I love in that situation, and again, Monahans, they lined up. You were pretty sure what they were going to do. It's just mono, and we didn't lose the line of scrimmage. It was just one of those big plays where I thought our kids rose up and did awesome.
Right. So, a couple of standouts. And, let's talk about Alex Samaniego. 4 total tackles, but also a key sack in the game. Ethan Mickelwitz, 14 total tackles. Brylan White, 10 tackles and a sack. Levi King, couple of knockdowns and a fumble recovery. And let's talk Hagen Barbie as well. What a return.
For
both sides of the ball.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hagen is one of those kids. He's a difference maker. When he's on the field, it looks different. He's a kid. He doesn't say a whole lot, but he just there's a physicality he plays with, offense and defense. He's just a sports savvy kid. I don't care what sports you play. I think he's one that you would want on your team and notice. He makes a difference. I know there's a total comfort level. I've now seen the kid play 30 games, give or take, and again, I know when I look back there and see 23, I feel a little bit better, just, because he's just been in so many of those situations, and I've seen him make so many plays, and his return was huge, and I'm looking forward to watching him get more comfortable and do it again.
Right. So, again, great performance by the defense. One thing I've really been impressed by the D is the shutdown in the first half, to be sure, but the last 2 weeks, how they faced some adversity in that second half and didn't let it get to them. They rebounded nicely, were able to get stops when it counted.
Yeah, again, I just think so many of those kids have been in those key moments, over the years. And, again, on the sideline, normally I'm just yelling, we have to respond, and again, our kids are made of the right stuff. They were raised right, and when they get a chance to go respond, that they go do it. So it's impressive for sure.
Right. Let's move the other side of the ball now. And I talked to him when he's coming back down from the press box after practice just a moment ago. I told Landon York, I said, I'm really impressed by your growth this year. 3 touchdowns, 138 yards, 72% completion percentage. Yeah, we could get wrapped around the axle about the pick 6, and I'm sure that'll give you enough to gripe about a little bit. But what a performance by you.
Oh, dude, I'm beyond impressed. You know, we had the one that you wish you had back. And, again, I played quarterback. Landon's 1,000 times better than I was. I mean, he is a tremendous football player, very savvy. And, again, the competition he's doing it against, 150 yards, give or take, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. And, again, for Landon and for Coach Lauderholm a little bit, respond after that like, oh, dang, I wish I had that one back. That's part of it, And, again, as brilliant as the Jim Nedlin was, sometimes there's some that go the other way. And, okay, well, it's about the next play and moving on. And, again, for Landon and offensive staff, everybody, that's we move on and we go. They win out a huge first down for us to put the game away. And, again, if we would have – if the game would have dictated throwing the ball again, I'd have had no hesitation. Landon would have performed great. So I had no question if that kid's ready to do it or not.
All right, another game. I have to mention this. Another contested spectacular catch for a touchdown by Reed Roberts.
Yeah, I know. I've been telling you, he's the one.
You have been. Yeah.
He is not covered when he's covered. I have to resist Sarge getting mad at him when we go team defense because I think we have him covered, and Landon will throw that ball in the spot and Reed will just go freak show it. And, it's just, all I tell my kids, hey, on Friday night, I live with that. We're in great shape. But yeah, Reed is obviously 4 games in, just putting up some monster numbers. And, and people know who he is now. And he's still putting up those numbers. He's a problem, and I'm glad he's our problem.
Yeah. I'll tell you, if he doesn't get a look by someone, there ain't no justice in this world. I'm telling you, that young man, maybe not great top-end speed, but he's got quickness in and out of his breaks and something that you look for, and that's that ability to go get that football.
Oh, for sure. Throwing a little tough-ness. He's tough enough to run the mile relay, which, a lot of those skill kids, they want to be sprinters and, and run the 4x1. That kid's got some guts and nuts, and he's a tough kid.
Yeah. And so he showed me something else this game. As well, the ability to catch and run. I know we've seen a little bit, but I think it was his first touchdown catch in that far corner that he caught it at the sideline, turned and broke a tackle and got to the end.
And he almost took another one. Right. Like he ran through a couple of dudes.
Yes.
Yeah. No, there's just some calmness that he plays with. It's funny today. The basketball coach at lunch was like, man, it looks like the game's really slow for him. In a great way. He's playing lights out.
Yeah. And so we talked about Hagan Barbie, but return from injury, 11 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. What a great return on the O side as well.
Oh, for sure. No, yeah. Hagan is a very, just really good, patient little zone runner. If he gets space, he can definitely make you miss. Him. I thought our O-line played really solid the other night. Our run game was very good. Barbie and Leonis. And again, our pass protection, I think Landon got knocked down one time. I thought they played great.
Yeah. I was going to go back to the O-line. Let me mention one more, and then we'll go talk about the O-line a little bit because I definitely got that on the notes to talk about. But Thomas Leonis showed me something this week as well. The last few weeks he's been showing toughness. I've seen a lot of toughness, but he showed a little bit of speed this week.
He has a gear. Again, when you're watching on the sideline, he was just so close to popping a couple of those. Yeah, and he's done, again, just the little things that, that I hear the offensive coaches talking to him. He's hitting the hole, a little better, a little tighter. At the start of the year, some of those kids want to kind of bounce and find yardage outside. Well, as you go along, that yardage is normally on those vertical cuts, where you run through a contested tackler. And again, Thomas, I thought is looking great.
Yeah. And then I would be remiss if I did not mention Evan Bailey another week. 3 more catches, a touchdown. So, again, the young man, the sophomore, showing up and showing out again.
Yeah, no, Evan, ultra talented kid. Really the question all year long this spring and summer was not if we're going to take Evan, it's when. And the second that some playing time there opened up, and now, there's no going back. He's established, and he's a dude. They're using him with motion packages. And he's a kid you'll design touches for just because he's a dynamic. He's a donkey athlete himself.
Yeah. So let's talk O-line before we go to break. Let's talk O-line. Because obviously we give the skill guys all the love and all the press, but I saw holes out here last Friday night that, I mean, they've just been tearing holes open in that running game and keeping Landon clean.
Very, very consistent. You know, again, a couple of weeks ago, we thought we lost too many yards on first down, you know, and I just thought we were so much more on schedule, you know, overall, the ball game. I know the offensive coaches, you know, a lot of them, those guys, it's such an easier way to call when it's, you know, you're not chasing 3.5 yards per play.
Right.
Yeah, no, again, I thought the O-line absolutely did a tremendous job. Really strong group.
Right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about a little bit about the crowd. We'll talk about next week's opponent. This is the Hawk Insider with Coach Craig Slaughter. It's brought to you by Texas Bank and also sponsored by Oasis Crop Insurance. We'll be back after the break.
At Texas Bank, we believe in the power of relationships. Our roots are our customers, the lifeblood of our business. We're more than just a bank. We're your trusted financial partner, committed to building lasting connections and providing personalized service that exceeds your expectations. From helping you achieve your financial goals to supporting you through life's changes, we're here for you every step of the way. Experience the difference of banking with people who truly care.
Cotton farming in the Concho Valley, that's risky business. Specializing in crop insurance and serving local family farmers for over 15 years, Oasis Crop Insurance understands those risks firsthand. That's why year in and year out, from the first seed you plant to the last boll you harvest, Oasis Crop Insurance is your risk management partner.
Oasis Crop Insurance, service from paradise.
Welcome back to the Wall Hawk Insider with Coach Craig Slaughter. I'm Russ Howard. Let's talk a little bit. We talked about defense, talked about offense. Let's talk a little bit about next week's game against Sweetwater. Another tough non-district opponent, another playoff team last year. Going up to Sweetwater, first road game in 3 weeks now. Cause you had three straight home games. What's it like? I know you've coached in Sweetwater before. You've coached there as a member of the Hawk coaching staff. What's it like going to Sweetwater coaching in an environment like that?
Oh, it's neat. You know, that Mustang Bowl is one of the greatest stadiums in Texas, you know, and there'll never be another one like it, you know, because if they build a stadium, it'll include a track, you know, and all kinds of stuff. You know, that is a football-specific facility. You know, it's fun with no track. The crowd's a little closer, you know, and again, you're set, you know, it's like a mini Ohio State, you know, just, you know, it's enclosed, and it's a great football place for sure.
You know, I my first experience was a couple of years ago. Myself and Larry did a couple of playoff games up there, and then obviously last year we did some too. But it's just a throwback stadium to I mean, I'm old. I'm 57 years old, so I remember old school. I'm not used to the fancy-dancy Allens.
No.
And, you know.
I love the concrete. The concrete steps. Yeah, it's a really cool stadium.
It is.
Great venue.
It is. I mean, so yeah, it's quite an experience going. And I would ask you about going back there, but you've been back there since you were head coach there, so I'm sure
we've had some big games there. You know, since I've been in the Wall, and again, it's you know, walking down the ramp or down those stairs, whatever. It's just such a neat venue. You know, it's a really cool setup.
It is. Now, I would be remiss as well if I didn't relay this story to you about the home crowd here in Wall. So this past Friday night, I was walking back to the press box. I had to run to my truck and get something, and I ran across a guy I used to work with when we were both active duty out at Goodfellow. I hadn't seen him in years, Jim Bellmare, and I said, I didn't even realize he lived out here now. I didn't realize because last time I ran across him 4 or 5 years ago, his kids are going to Central. And so I sat there and talked to him. And the point of the story is it's just such a cool, unique environment here.
Oh, yeah.
It's so close. The fans are such a great group of people. I mean, and they really love this football team.
Oh, they support our kids and our program so much. You know, when I'm walking into the deal, you know, there's kids come up, you know, from my wife's classroom. You know, they don't think it's a big deal. You know, I mean, it's just it's such an amazing community. It's such a, and again, how they support it. And I know we talked in the kickoff show. Some of those guys that have been at every event for 40, 45 years, they make it a special place. Yeah, I mean, just, you know, and again, I'm just always amazed. You know, if I run into them, they don't ask about the Hawks. They'll ask about specific. Why did he get the ball? You know. I mean, that they know the game. They know our kids. You know, it's an amazing place.
Very savvy football crowd.
Oh, for sure.
Very smart. the guy that does the horn, Kurt Brayton.
Oh, yeah.
I've worked with him for years. When I was over at ASU, I worked with him, so I've known him for a while. I didn't realize he did all that. He had a when he's over there, he can't see this end of the this end of the field, so he has a TV, big, like it's got to be 48 on the back of his truck. So he turns and watches our feed when it gets down here on this end, and then turns back around and it comes back this way. So
Current technology, nothing surprising.
yeah, no, not at all.
He can do it.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he saved our behinds a lot of times out there at Angelo State when we were trying to broadcast out there. We'd have IT issues. Anyway, well, again, congrats on the big win.
Thank you.
Coming out of well, it's still in non-district play, but 3-1. I'll be honest with you, complete honesty. I thought it was 2-2. I was calling it 2-2 after the first 4 games. 3-1 with a legitimate chance to be 4-0, a real legitimate chance. Yeah. Your take on the first third of the season?
You know, again, I wish we weren't quite so banged up. You know, we have some really, that's the most impressive thing to me. We have some really good players out. I mean, some of them I forgot how good they are. You know, because, you know, you just don't see them, you know, in a few weeks. But, I mean, I know the second I see them when they take that field, it's like, oh, God, there it is. You know, because, I mean, our depth has really showed out, you know, because, again, there's been a few times more than 10 plays in a row where our entire starting secondary may not have been there, you know. And and again, the kids that have stepped up and got a chance to contribute have done a great job. You know, we obviously we played a lot of kids the other night. You know, we're still kind of evaluating because that, you know, the schedule's so tough. You never have a chance. Okay, all 2s get in there. You still want to evaluate your kids, you know, and that's something like going to the game of the night. There were a handful of kids, and like, hey, I don't care what the situation is, we're getting these kids, you know, X amount of plays because I want to see them play. You know, and props to them. I thought they did a good job.
Getting that much playing time for that many people, whether by injury or not, that'll give them a lot of experience going into.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, again, our depth is strong, and it's only going to get better because, you know, as some of those kids come back, some of those kids that may be playing 80% of the game may get knocked down to 45. They're still ready, you know, and again, and they've played in some huge games this year. So, no, again, 3-1 with the schedule we played and kind of what we've dealt with, the new scheme. I'm still just so fired up. I mean, we have had 1 offensive turnover in our last 10 quarters. That's amazing. You know, we had the pick the other night. Well, the game before that, you know, it was just the fumble kickoff. You know, it wasn't even an offensive turnover. Just so impressed with how they're taking care of the ball and, you know, picking up the new scheme. Props to the kids and coaches. It's going great.
Right. Well, Coach, congrats on another win. Be on the road next week, so we'll have to watch it remotely and be cheering on the Hawks. And I may have to. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I may have to drive my behind up to Sweetwater next Friday night. We'll see.
They have a really good running back, like one of those kids that you want to watch play football. You know, he's a kid. He makes yards when there's no yards to make. You know, I mean, really impressive kid. So we'll have our hands full, but we're going to go get after him.
Right. We want to thank you again for joining us here on the Wall Hawk Insider with Coach Craig Slaughter. I'm Russ. He's Coach. We'll see you next time. Take care. God bless. Have a great night.
At Texas Bank, we believe in the power of relationships. Our roots are our customers, the lifeblood of our business. We're more than just a bank. We're your trusted financial partner, committed to building lasting connections and providing personalized service that exceeds your expectations. From helping you achieve your financial goals to supporting you through life's changes, we're here for you every step of the way. Experience the difference of banking with people who truly care.
Cotton farming in the Concho Valley, that's risky business. Specializing in crop insurance and serving local family farmers for over 15 years, Oasis Crop Insurance understands those risks firsthand. That's why year in and year out, from the first seed you plant to the last boll you harvest, Oasis Crop Insurance is your risk management partner.
Oasis Crop Insurance, service from paradise.